I had every dancer, every choreographer, every really talented.
A legend isn't born from a single lucky break. It's forged in the silence of a dance studio at 4 a.m., where a 7-year-old girl practiced her talent show routine until she could perform it perfectly in her sleep. While most kids her age were playing, she was already competing against 16-year-olds and winning, igniting a fire that would eventually burn down every boundary the music industry ever tried to set. This is the definitive look at the woman who turned perfection into a daily standard. Beyoncé. Beyond the 35 Grammy Awards and the record-shattering stadium tours, we are uncovering the hidden mechanics of her billion-dollar empire. From the radical decision to fire her own father as her manager to the secret logistical maneuvers behind her surprise album drops that literally broke the internet. We're breaking down the blueprint of a mogul who doesn't just follow the rules, she rewrites them. We're going inside the creation of the Parkwood system, the extreme physical discipline of her marathon rehearsals, and the tactical brilliance that transformed a Houston singer into a global sovereign of business and art. Beyoncé Giselle Knowles was born in Houston, Texas, on September 4, 1981, into a home where music lived and breathed. Songs drifted through the rooms like background weather, constant, shaping, unavoidable. Her mother, Tina Knowles, radiated creativity and style, while her father, Matthew Knowles, brought structure and discipline. Between artistry and order, Beyoncé grew up learning that talent alone was never enough. It had to be sharpened. Even as a child, she was observant and composed, singing not for attention, but as if her voice was simply answering a call only she could hear. When her younger sister, Solange, was born, Beyoncé stepped into the role of protector and quiet leader. Though different in spirit, Beyoncé focused and deliberate, Solange curious and free, music tied them together like an unbreakable thread. At 7 years old, Beyoncé stood on a small school stage and sang "Imagine." The room fell silent, as if the air itself was listening. Winning that talent show didn't surprise her. It confirmed what she already felt deep down. From that moment on, music wasn't a dream, it was a direction. Her days filled with vocal lessons and dance rehearsals, while childhood slipped away like daylight after dusk. She trained relentlessly, repeating steps and notes until perfection stopped feeling impossible. By 9, she joined a girl group, Girls' Time, and the work intensified. Practices stretched endlessly, and family life bent around ambition. When the group lost on national television, the disappointment hit hard, but not deep enough to break her. Instead, it refined her, like pressure turning coal to diamond. Through her teenage years, Beyoncé pursued excellence with quiet determination, studying music, rehearsing late into the night, and building discipline before fame ever arrived. Beyoncé's professional ascent began not in isolation, but in harmony. As the lead force of Destiny's Child in the late 1990s, she helped craft a sound that dominated airwaves with songs like "Bills, Bills, Bills" and "Say My Name." The group's success was undeniable, but even then, Beyoncé stood at the center, steady, commanding, pulling focus like gravity itself. Destiny's Child became one of the best-selling girl groups of all time, and Beyoncé emerged already polished, already inevitable. Her solo debut in 2003 felt less like a transition and more like a declaration. Dangerously in Love arrived at #1, powered by Crazy in Love and Baby Boy, songs that moved through the world like wildfire. That same year, she won 5 Grammy Awards in a single night, an industry pausing to register that a new benchmark had been set. This was not a rise, it was an arrival. What followed was a run of dominance shaped by reinvention. Today I Am, Sasha Fierce, and 4 delivered era-defining hits. Irreplaceable, Halo, Single Ladies, each one carving its place into the cultural memory. Single Ladies became more than a song. It was a global reflex, its chorus and choreography spreading like shorthand across continents, earning Song of the Year and rewriting pop's visual language. Then Beyoncé disrupted the industry itself. In 2013, she released Beyoncé Without Warning, a visual album unveiled in silence, received in awe. With Lemonade in 2016, she transformed personal pain into collective testimony, blending music, film, and history into one statement. The album earned multiple Grammys and a Peabody Award, sealing her shift from pop star to cultural architect. Instead of settling into legacy, she expanded her reach. Renaissance reignited dance floors while honoring Black and queer club culture, winning Best Dance/Electronic Album and extending her historic Grammy record. Then came Cowboy Carter, a genre-defying reclamation that fused country, soul, and American history. The album earned Grammy Awards for Album of the Year and Best Country Album, making Beyoncé the first Black woman to achieve the latter and reframing what country music could hold. Across her career, the accolades accumulated with staggering weight. Beyoncé now holds 35 Grammy Awards and 99 nominations, the most in Grammy history, alongside hundreds of wins across BET, MTV, VMAs, Billboard, and NAACP Image Awards. Numbers followed her onto the stage as well. The Renaissance World Tour surpassed $500 million, becoming the highest-grossing tour by a woman at the time. The Cowboy Carter Tour crossed $400 million in under 35 shows, making her the first woman and first American artist to achieve that feat twice. Yet statistics only outline the shape of her impact. Beyoncé's true dominance lies in control over her art, her narrative, her timing. She doesn't chase relevance, she engineers it. Like a master builder, she lays foundations quietly, then unveils structures so solid they redefine the skyline. From group harmonies to global authority, from radio hits to cultural reckoning, Beyoncé's career moves like a tide, measured, powerful, unstoppable. Beyoncé has always treated her private life like sacred ground. While her career blazed beneath stadium lights, her love story unfolded quietly, protected, almost reverently. When she met Sean Jay-Z Carter in the early 2000s, their bond didn't rush forward. It settled in. They were friends first, building trust slowly, like a foundation poured before a storm. In April 2008, they married in a private New York ceremony, choosing intimacy over spectacle, as if to say that real love doesn't need an audience. Motherhood shifted her gravity. In 2012, the birth of Blue Ivy centered Beyoncé in a way fame never could. She later said her daughter introduced her to herself, and the change was visible. Her ambition didn't fade, it focused. Blue was raised gently behind the curtain, allowed to grow like a seedling, shielded from harsh light. When twins Rumi and Sir arrived in 2017, the family found balance. Rumi bright and expressive, Sir quiet and inward, two rhythms completing the same heartbeat. But love was not untouched by fracture. Public scrutiny followed whispers of betrayal. Yet Beyoncé chose art over spectacle. Lemonade arrived like a thunderstorm, raw, cleansing, unavoidable, followed by Jay-Z's 444, an answer shaped by accountability. Together, they told a story not of perfection but of repair. Love rebuilt, not denied. Today, Beyoncé's private life is ruled by intention. She builds her world around her children, guarding their normalcy as fiercely as her legacy. Blue now steps into the light by choice, earning her place through discipline, not inheritance. Rumi and Sir remain mostly unseen, growing freely beyond the gaze. Beyoncé doesn't just perform, she builds power. What began as a gifted voice from Houston has become a global financial engine where music, culture, and commerce move as one. By the end of 2025, she entered the billionaire class, becoming only the 5th musician in history to do so. As of March 2026, her net worth sits at approximately $1 billion, with some valuations placing it closer to $1.1 billion. This wasn't luck, it was design. Music remains the foundation, but touring is the accelerant. Her catalog continues to generate massive royalties, while the Renaissance World Tour 2023 grossed $579+ million, one of the highest ever. She followed it with the Cowboy Carter Tour 2025, which brought in over $400 million, becoming the highest-grossing country tour in history, plus $50 million in merchandise. Touring didn't just earn, it propelled. That power is centralized through Parkwood Entertainment, founded in 2010. As her fully owned company, Parkwood controls her albums, tours, and films, including Lemonade, Homecoming, and the Renaissance concert film, anchored by a Netflix deal worth roughly $60 million. Beyoncé doesn't license her vision. She owns it. Her strategy then shifted from endorsements to equity. Ivy Park peaked at $93 million in revenue in 2021 during its Adidas partnership before ending in 2023. In 2024, she launched Cécred, her haircare brand, which entered Ulta Beauty in 2025, accelerating its valuation. That same year, she introduced SirDavis American whiskey, expanding into one of the highest margin consumer sectors. This wasn't diversification for visibility, it was scale. Endorsements remain selective but seismic. Her $50 million Pepsi deal is legendary, alongside partnerships with Tiffany & Co., Levi's, American Express, L'Oreal, and Armani. She reportedly earns over $1 million per Instagram post and $3 to $4 million per private appearance. Her influence is its own market. As of March 2026, Beyoncé commands approximately 308 million Instagram followers, 73 million on Facebook, 17 million on X, and 30+ million YouTube subscribers. When she posts, markets feel it. What makes her fortune remarkable isn't the size, it's the balance. Touring cash flow, music ownership, brand equity, endorsements, and digital dominance move in sync. Beyoncé is no longer just an entertainer. She is a holding company with a heartbeat and a legacy built to outlast the moment. Away from the stage, Beyoncé's taste for power takes a different form. Every vehicle in her collection moves with the same authority she carries on stage. Controlled, intentional, unmistakable. Her garage reads like a map of power, where heritage and horsepower meet. It begins with quiet grandeur. The 1959 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud II, valued at $1 million, glides rather than drives, like a grand piano rolling down asphalt. Often described as a gift from Jay-Z, the Silver Cloud isn't about speed, it's about ceremony. It reflects a confidence so deep it doesn't need to hurry. From elegance, the mood sharpens. The Mercedes-Benz McLaren SLR, priced at $455,500, sits like a predator at rest. One of only 3,500 ever built, it fuses luxury with supercar aggression, long, lethal, precise. It mirrors Beyoncé herself, polished on the surface, ferocious underneath. When presence must meet practicality, she turns to the Cadillac Escalade, worth around $79,440. This isn't just an SUV, it's a modern royal carriage, spacious enough for family, imposing enough for paparazzi-lined streets. It moves through cities like a convoy without guards. For moments when the world becomes a corridor, Beyoncé travels in a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter limousine, custom-built and valued at up to $1 million. This is not transportation, it's a moving stronghold. Plush, private, insulated from noise, it turns highways into backstage wings. Balance matters too. The Tesla Model S, purchased for $69,900, hums quietly among the giants. Clean, electric, forward-looking. It's the whisper between roars, a reminder that power doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it slips by in silence, and then, towering above them all, is the legend. The Rolls-Royce boattail, rumored to belong to Beyoncé and Jay-Z, commands an astonishing $28 million. Inspired by luxury yachts and handcrafted like a work of art, it stands as the most expensive new car in the world. If confirmed, it is less a vehicle than a statement, proof that at a certain level of success, rules dissolve. With that said, let's move on to the mansions. Every home in her portfolio feels less like a residence and more like a statement, chosen with the same discipline she brings to her craft. These aren't houses meant to impress crowds. They are sanctuaries built to endure, quiet as crowned silence. That vision finds its peak in the $200 million Malibu oceanfront mansion, purchased in 2023. rising above Paradise Cove on California's famed Billionaires Row. The 30,000-square-foot estate, designed by Tadao Ando, stands like a modern citadel carved from concrete and glass. Spread across 8 acres, it became the most expensive home ever sold in California, gazing over the Pacific as if the ocean itself were part of the design, repeating her dominance wave after wave. Before Malibu rewrote records, Bel Air held court. In 2017, Beyoncé and Jay-Z acquired their $88 million Bel Air compound, a hilltop stronghold with 8 bedrooms, 15 bathrooms, 4 pools, a basketball court, and a 15-car garage. Designed by Paul McLean, the estate is divided into 6 structures, guarded by bulletproof glass and layered security. Its scale was so vast the couple later spent an additional $17 million on a neighboring property, just to widen the lawn, like expanding a kingdom's borders. Elsewhere, her homes whisper history rather than spectacle. A $6.8 million Tribeca penthouse, bought in 2004, became the site of her private 2008 wedding, hidden from flash and noise. In 2009, the $25.9 million Pond House estate in East Hampton, designed by Stanford White, offered summers of stillness. And in New Orleans, a former Spanish Baroque church turned mansion, acquired for $2.6 million, stands as quiet mystery, heritage preserved, not announced. Together, Beyoncé's real estate holdings exceed $300 million, yet none feel indulgent. They feel deliberate. Each estate is placed where power settles, where privacy holds, and where legacy can breathe. Beyond mansions and motorcades, Beyoncé's wealth reveals itself in quieter luxuries, chosen not to impress, but to last. These indulgences don't shout. They glow, like embers beneath polished glass. Her jewelry alone carries legendary weight, valued at $132.7 million. Her collection includes the $30 million Tiffany diamond, worn by only 4 people in history, $12 million Lorraine Schwartz necklaces, $9 million Oscar Knight diamonds, and her iconic $5 million emerald-cut engagement ring. These aren't accessories, they're history on skin. Time bends easily around her wrist. Beyoncé once gifted Jay-Z a $5 million Hublot watch, while several of her own diamond-set timepieces are estimated between $1 to $3 million each. They don't mark time, they command it. When she travels, distance becomes optional. She flies aboard an $80 million Bombardier Global 7500, outfitted with private suites and spa-style bathrooms, replacing the earlier $40 million Challenger 850. Even the sky adjusts. Fashion remains part of the power play. Her Cowboy Carter tour wardrobe is valued at $2.7 million, with custom looks costing $20,000 to $30,000 and select couture pieces exceeding $1 million. Each outfit moves like currency, spent once, remembered forever. And when she rests, it's on water. Beyoncé and Jay-Z charter the $400 million Flying Fox super yacht at $3.5 to $6 million per week, complete with a cinema, 2-story spa, and helipads. On one trip alone, crew tips reportedly reached $630,000, nearly the price of a luxury car, for silence and serenity. Layered beneath it all a rare art, Hermes Birkin bags priced $20,000 to $500,000, and bespoke gifts for her children, luxury chosen with lineage in mind. Beyoncé stands where culture catches fire, so every move she makes sends sparks. In 2016, she split America with her Super Bowl formation performance, hailed as protest, condemned as political provocation. Soon after, her appearance in Coldplay's Hymn for the Weekend ignited debates over cultural appropriation versus appreciation. Years later, Renaissance stirred fresh tension. While celebrating Black queer dance culture, disputes over sampling, most notably with Kellis, reopened deep cracks around credit and power. Fashion followed suit. Ivy Park faced scrutiny over labor ethics before its partnership with Adidas quietly ended. Then came Dubai, 2023, a $24 million private performance in a country with strict anti-LGBTQ+ laws, drawing fierce backlash and louder questions over her silence. From private jets to diamond-bright stages, Beyoncé's luxury isn't about excess. It's about intention. Every choice, every detail reflects a woman who didn't just rise to the top, but redesigned what the top looks like. This isn't just wealth, it's legacy in motion. And if one thing is clear, Queen Bey doesn't chase luxury. Luxury follows her. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for the next story behind the spotlight.